So my name is Timothy Matthew Gibson, or I go by the gamer tag Gib. So just to play on my last name Gibson, just took the Gib part out of it. Basically, I've been on the Rocket League team for like 3 years now, and Rocket League A team, and I just graduated this term. So this was my last one ever. I don't remember the exact age. I was very young. I was probably like 5 or 6 the first video game I played. And the first one I can remember is like Super Mario Brothers, and I don't even know the console it was on. I don't think it was a GameCube, but it was something of that esque, and it was just Super Mario Brothers, like 3 lives, trying to beat the 9 worlds. Okay, so yeah, I basically discovered Rocket League right around probably grade 10 of high school when it was free on a PlayStation Plus, and played it with my buddies for probably a week, and then I didn't play it again until like first year of university when my one of the friends I made was really into it, and then he kind of got me into it, and I wanted to get really better than him because he was way better than me. So I grinded the game for like a long time, and then started to get good at it, and then by the time I hit second year, I was like good enough to compete, so I started doing it. Yeah, so first I was just playing with my friend, and eventually I just kind of got to the point where like I was like the highest rank in the game, and there was like kind of just competitions and like people like talk about that rank. So I was like, oh, that's like something I'm interested in. I've always been a very like competitive person in my life, so I'm like, this is something that interests me. So I started getting through that, and then there's this one like Canadian kind of tournament thing that had a LAN in the summer of August, and I went there, and then one of the guys at that LAN was actually planning to go to Waterloo in the fall. So we were like, hey, we should make a team for this like collegiate thing that we just saw started like recently. And then from that, we kind of just like made a team at Waterloo, and then it just kind of kept going from there till we are here. And that was kind of like how it started, and then just kind of kept growing from there. Yeah, so when we were creating the team, initially it was just kind of like we were just talking at line. Like we didn't even know at the start that he was going to Waterloo, or that like what the plan was. It just kind of we figured it out through talking. He's like, hey, I'm going to Waterloo. I was like, oh, that's so we should make a team. And then in terms of like it's a 3v3 competition, so we needed a third man kind of to join. And we ended up just using the one like roommate or friend I had back in first year for the first season to do it. And then we competed. And then after a while, we just kind of like I guess put our name out there because we were on a lot of like Rocket League streams and stuff pretty publicly, and then the community just kind of like grew from that, from people like messaging us, and then we just kept making the team from like the best players available, pretty much. Yeah, so like how we felt basically, I remember to get into like the big league, we had to like do a qualifier. So the first qualifier we did, there was 2 of them. The first one we did actually, we didn't make it, so we had to end up doing the second one, and we made it through that. And I remember just we were being like, a lot of us were like super nervous and stuff because like the first kind of qualifier ever, and we were just like, nervous but having a fun time with it. And when we made it, it's like a really cool feeling to go on like your first matches on like the streams, because like when we made it into the league, we actually had some of our matches streamed on like their official Twitch page on their like Rocket League channel that like all the esports and pros play on. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I think on co-ops it's a little easier because you kind of just go to your job from 9 to 5, and then you can like allocate how much time you want from there to play the game. And it's a lot more like scheduled, and it's easier to manage. But when you're on like school terms, I think it's very difficult to try and play the game enough to the point where you're like improving. I want to put time into it versus like putting time into school, and I've always personally put school ahead of gaming. So a lot of times during the school term, I don't play the game as much as I'd want to, and I probably lose a little bit of skill from that. But I just do my best to make sure I can be like the best teammate I can and manage it all. But it's definitely not easy to like manage all the different ones. It takes a lot of effort and time for sure. Yeah, I think the most memorable plays are just kind of like the first time we made like the official big league. That was really cool feeling and really fun. And the second one like that stands out to me was when one of our seasons we came like third overall in the regular season, and then in playoffs we actually qualified for like a LAN that would have happened if it wasn't for COVID. But that was a really kind of cool and surreal feeling to like qualify for that and still like get that. And then from that we also got like an elite tag in the game, which was pretty cool because we qualified for a LAN. So that was pretty dope and a memorable moment in our season. I think the team for Waterloo, I mean, I'm going to support them the best they can. I'll, offer coaching if they want it or whatnot. But yeah, I think they're just going to like continue on. I think we built like a good foundation where they're always going to have a team. So I hope, wish the best for them, and hopefully they can figure it out. And as far as me goes, yeah, I plan to try and like put as much effort as I can into Rocket League now that I've graduated and finally have time to actually like, I guess, put in the hours I think would take into the game to go pro. And I just going to kind of see what happens from there. But I'm excited to like put, I guess, my full effort into it for the first time ever. The main thought process behind this play was I was just trying to like take the ball to the wall initially and then go up for like an air dribble is what we call it. And then when I like go into the air dribble, I'm just trying to like keep as much control as possible and try to like look for other cards to see if I can beat them or not. And a lot of the times, if you can like get that extra like second touch or whatnot, it'll beat the defender and like go into the net. So I was just trying to do that, and then it worked out this time.